Hello and welcome to Relevant Happenings. In this video, we'll look at latest relevant current affairs. We'll see about Afghanistan, where only few days of medical supplies are left, and what is WHO doing to solve the crisis. Then we'll see what is Bharat Series, registration mark for vehicles and how will it benefit vehicle owners. Next we'll see about decision of Defence Ministry that signed contract worth Rs 1,349 crores to procure integrated anti-submarine warfare, along with many other relevant happenings. So let's begin. To begin with, let's look at the situation of Afghanistan, where only few days of medical supplies are left. Afghanistan is facing its worst ever crisis that ever happened in decades after the Taliban took control of the country following the collapse of the Ashraf Ghani-led Afghan government. As per the World Health Organization, the war-torn nation has only a few days of medical supplies left to meet the health requirements of the people of the nation. Afghanistan is falling short of essential medical supplies, including medicines for hospitals and nutritional food for acutely malnourished children. WHO stated that since Kabul airport cannot be used to bring in medical supplies at this stage, the organization is hoping to use Mazar-i-Sharif airport, and the first flight is hopefully going to come in the next few days. As per the UNHCR, there had not been mass migration from Afghanistan until now, but the current evolving situation may force a large number of people to leave the country. The World Health Organization has staff in all of Afghanistan's 34 provinces, and they are closely monitoring the health situation in the country. Most of the 2,200 health centers that are monitored by WHO are open in the nation. Moving ahead, let's see about Bharat Series registration mark for vehicles. The Ministry of Road, Transport and Highways has introduced a new registration mark for new vehicles under the Bharat Series to facilitate seamless transfer of vehicles. Keeping in mind the cumbersome process of re-registration of vehicles when relocating or moving to another state, the government rolled a new Bharat Series registration mark scheme which will not require an individual to get a new registration number for the vehicle if they move to another state. Currently, the process of re-registration of vehicles while moving to another state requires the vehicle owner to obtain a no objection certificate from the old state where the vehicle was earlier registered, then get the vehicle registered in the new state and pay the road tax, then file for a refund for the road tax already paid in the old state. And also, most of us are unaware that under Section 47 of the Motor Vehicles Act 1988, an individual is allowed to keep a vehicle for only 12 months in any state other than the state where the vehicle is registered. During those 12 months, the individual is required to obtain a new registration in the new state. But thankfully, with the new Bharat Series registration mark, an individual will not be required to apply for re-registration when moving to the vehicle from one state to another. Also under the scheme, the motor vehicle tax will be levied for 2 years. Moving ahead, now let's see about decision of Defence Ministry that signed contract worth Rs 1,349 crores to procure integrated anti-submarine warfare. The Ministry of Defence signed this contract with Mahindra Defence Systems Limited in order to buy 14 integrated anti-submarine warfare and defence suits for the Indian Navy. Integrated anti-submarine warfare and defence suits is high-end underwater equipment that uses the latest technology. The system is designed to detect and protect warships from underwater threats. It is a versatile system that is capable of operations from all sizes of warships, small, medium and large. Under it, the complex array of sensors in water undertakes surveillance and provides inputs for the signal processing and analysis in order to enable necessary action. This is also first of its kind technology system developed by an Indian firm. It is Defence Ministry's first major contract with private sector as well. Moving ahead, Prime Minister inaugurated the renovated complex of Jallianwala Bagh Smarak along with 4 museum galleries at the Smarak. 4 museum galleries have been created through reuse of redundant and underutilized buildings. The galleries will showcase the historical value of events that unfolded in Punjab during the freedom struggle movement. The galleries will have a fusion of audio-visual technology, including projection mapping and 3D representation, as well as art and sculptural installations. A sound and light show will also be set up, which will showcase the events that took place on the fateful day, April 13, 1919. Several elaborate heritage restoration works have been carried at the Smarak in line with Punjab's local architectural style. The Shahidi Well has also been repaired and restored with a redefined superstructure. The flame monument, also known as the Heart of the Bagh, has also been repaired and restored. Water body has been rejuvenated as a lily pond. The pathways have also been made broader for better navigability. Besides this, several new and modern amenities have been added, including redefined paths of movement with appropriate signages. Landscaping and hardscaping with native plantation has been done. Installation of audio nodes throughout the garden has been installed. Also, newer areas have been developed for housing, Amar Jyot, Salvation Ground and Flag Mast. Talking about Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, the Jallianwala Bagh Massacre took place on 13th April 1919. On the fateful day, a large crowd had gathered peacefully at the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar, Punjab, in protest against the arrest of freedom fighters Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu. The Jallianwala Bagh had only one exit and was enclosed by buildings on the other three sides. British Brigadier General R.E.H. Dyer ordered his soldiers to surround the Bagh, block the exit and shoot at the crowd. The soldiers on command continued to fire till their ammunition was exhausted even as protesters tried to escape the place. Over 1,000 people were martyred in the fateful shooting and over 1,200 others were injured. As per some historians, this episode initiated towards the end of British rule in India. Moving ahead, let's look at Samriddh scheme and know about its key features. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology launched the Startup Accelerators MIghty for Production Innovation, Development and Growth, which is called Samriddh scheme. The scheme will select startups in India that are all set for the acceleration stage. The government will offer financial assistance, mentorship and other required support to the selected startups at this stage. Samriddh scheme will offer startups with an investment of up to ₹40 lakh to the startup based on current valuation. Provide growth state of startup through selected accelerators and facilitate equal matching investment by the accelerator or investor. The scheme aims at creating a conducive platform for Indian software product startups to secure investments for scaling their products and business. Moving ahead, US astronomers have discovered fastest orbiting asteroid in solar system. The fastest orbiting asteroid discovered in solar system has been named as 2021 PH27. This space rock is 1 kilometer in diameter and it completes its orbit in 113 days. The scientists have mentioned that 113 Earth days is the shortest orbital period of any known solar system object except the Mercury planet, which takes only 88 days to orbit around the Sun. As per the scientists, the space rock also gets extremely close to the Sun by reaching proximity of about 20 million kilometers, in comparison to Mercury that gets as close as 46 million kilometers. The scientists have cautioned that the orbit is not stable. They added that there are chances that the asteroid will collide with the Sun, Venus or Mercury a few million years away from now if the asteroid does not get altered from its current path by gravitational interaction. Moving ahead, Bhavina Patel has won India's first medal at Tokyo Paralympics 2020. Bhavina Patel created history by becoming the first Indian table tennis player to win silver medal at Paralympics. She has won the medal in her Class 4 match. In Class 4 category, the para-athletes have fair sitting balance and fully functional arms as well as hands. Their impairment may be due to cerebral palsy and a lower spinal cord lesion. Apart from this, there is Class 2 and Class 3. So athletes with fair sitting balance and a normal fencing arm are placed in Class 2, with athletes with good sitting balance without support of legs and normal fencing arm are placed in Class 3 of Paralympics athletes classification criteria. Also, shooter Avni Lekhara won India's first gold medal in the women's 10m air rifle standing SH1 event at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. 19-year-old Lekhara created a Paralympics record by equaling the world record of Ukraine's Iryana Shechnik with a score of 249.6 that was set in 2018. Lekhara became the first Indian woman who won India's first gold medal at Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. In addition to this, Nishat Kumar won the silver medal in high jump with a jump of 2.06 meter, creating an Asian record. Vinod Kumar also won the bronze medal in class F52 discus throw event. Now let's look at the thought of the day. If you do not work to build your dreams, someone else will hire you to help build their dreams. So it's necessary to keep working on your dreams and make it a reality. So these were the relevant current affairs of today. Hope you find the video informative, and to watch more such useful content, kindly subscribe to the channel and watch other videos. Thank you.